So here's the function chart for this station right here. Okay. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. So according to this, we need what? We need 4S1 and the start button. Why they combined all this together, I'm not really sure. I think I had that the traverse cylinder extend a boost forward, right? So they call it forward, and it hits so it's what? It affects what? Forward. Oh, I guess it's right. During this time, also on that is the what? Vortex. You don't know what we're talking about yet. No. Huh? You want to go look at it? No, it's the little diffused photo sensor that looks for the port. So it's on the carriage. This all happens at the same time. And also, while it's moving, it's going to check the watt. Height, right? And or height reading. We'll have to look at it because it looks like something's missing to me on it. Oh, I'm sorry, B2. This is the one y'all said y'all had reversed, right? So B2 is the one that must be the induction sensor, right? Okay. And then B3 is the part reader. So what they're saying is this is all one step. When that thing starts moving, this is all one step, right? That makes sense. Then when we hit, notice what they do. They put a little dash. So to get this to move, we need to go to what? 4S2 needs to be true. What to do? Extend the lift cylinder, right? And y'all put 2A out there. That's pretty good. And then we get up here, and what does it do now? So this is the way this guy makes the decision. So it's got two ways it can go. It can go what? This way, or it can do what? Go this way. So they do the same thing that I did. Now the problem is they're not using a sensor. You see what they've done here? Well, they didn't put the sensor name. What they did is they put the port. So they didn't. So that's what we have to figure out. So they say if input 2.4 on the PLC is false and input 2.3 is true, then it'll go this way. You know what I'm saying? Over here it's saying if input 2.4 is true and input 2.3 is false, then it'll do this way. So notice this logic over here is what? Opposite of that one. But 2.4. 2.4 is the port detection. Right, so they should have put B1 right here, and then 2.3 is B3. So that's what they should have done here, but undoubtedly, so input 2.4 is what? 2.4 is B1. So if B1 is false and B3 is true, okay, you'll see where they did the mistake there. So what did they give us? They gave us the actual port on the PLC, right? That. And what we wanted was, you see how they split us on two different paths? You know, they're just opposite of each other. So if this is true, then it falls down and it's going to extend the cylinder 1A, right? And then it's going to do what? When this one comes true, then it's going to do what? It's going to retract it. So this is the one that's going to do what? Transfer it over to the next station. This one is, so it says, okay, if this was true, but this was false, then it's going to do what? It's going to extend cylinder what? 3A. Wait a minute. This is true. We didn't do it over there because right now we weren't worried about ports. All we was doing is worried about sensors, right? Understand what I'm saying? So we're worried with sensors and not port on the PLC. The actual function chart gives you the port on the PLC. So that way you got two places. So now if you're over there looking at it, you can check instead of saying, okay, if I don't have access to the sensor, then I can look at the PLC, right? You understand that? And we showed you how the ports were numbered on the PLC, right? No, I wasn't expecting that. That's what we talk about, Barry. Right now, we're not worried about the PLC. We're worried about the sensors, right? But when they did that, notice down here, they're giving us the sensors, but they're also giving us the watt. Yeah, giving us the port on the PLC. Up here, they just left off the watt. Sensors. And so what you would do is you would put the sensor that would be affected. Of course, if what's 4? 4 is B1, right? So if B1 is true, and then B3 is false, then it says something's wrong, and it's going to do what? It's going to extend the what? The reject cylinder. This is going to be, once it's extended, it's going to do what? It's going to trigger 3B2. If 3B2 is true, as soon as B2 becomes true, it's going to do what with it? Retract it, which is going to trigger what? 3B1. If 3B1 is true, then it's going to do what? Either way. So over here, when 1B1 goes true, it'll fall into here. Over here, so here it would retract the lift cylinder, and then it would do what? Then it would move the motor reverse. So this is the way it does the decision. You know, so that it's going to be interesting to look at the carousel or the table and see how that thing looks. Yes, it is, but it's blocked out right now. Why? Because you're doing it right. So yeah, see, I'm on Blackboard right now. So yes, it is there. Yeah, but see this little thing, that thing right there, it means it's not available right now. Because that'd have been good, right? Y'all could have come up here. So this is the. So we were close. So there's only one thing in here that's required to start this. Well, two things. The what starts. Let's see if I can go up one more mag. Of course, if y'all can't see it, y'all can come up a little closer. That's okay. I'll move it up when we get down there. So the only thing that's required to start this is 4B1 has to be true. And as soon as it does, what does it do? Everybody sees that, it's going to turn to what? 45 degrees. Is there a sensor that tells us it's at 45 degrees? No, it's a what? It's a stepping motor. So once it knows where it's at, it knows how many steps equal what? 45 degrees. Then it's going to look at port detection. So 45 degrees port detection. Then it's going to start making decisions, right? You understand? So B5, B2, right? This guy's looking at B5, B2. This is saying both, they're doing it different here, too. This says both of them have to be what? True. So they're doing it different here. So undoubtedly different people are doing this. So they should say B5 and B2, right? Over here it's looking for what? B5 to be true and B2 to be what? False. Because one of them is going to stop at the flipper. The other one is going to bypass the flipper. Okay. So it looks like this is going to hit the flipper. This right here is going to do what? Bypass it. Okay. So let's say it's good. Okay, so it doesn't, it knows it's oriented right. Then it's going to do what? It's going to fall down here. Let's say it's false, so it needs to be flipped. Okay, so it's going to send the motor, stepping motor, what? 45 more degrees. So 45 plus 45 is what? 90. Okay, that makes sense. Now it's stopped under the sensor. This should trigger what? B3, which is that capacitive sensor down at the bottom, right? You understand? Okay. If B3 is true, then it's what's it going to do? It's going to retract the lift cylinder because it's already extended, which is going to trigger what? 1B1, right? If 1B1 is true, it's going to do what? Close the gripper, all right? That makes sense? Which is going to trigger B3, okay? Then if B3 is true, it's going to do what? Extend the cylinder. It's going to raise it up. Then it's going to do what? That's going to trigger 1B2. Then if 1B2 is true, then it's going to rotate the gripper what? 180 degrees, which is going to trigger 2B2. If 2B2 is true, it's going to do what? Retract the cylinder. Then it's what it's going to do, which is going to trigger 1B1. If 1B1 is true, it's going to do what? Open the gripper. So this is the route I should have had y'all take, because this right here would have been extremely easy. So when we do our step chart, when y'all do y'all step chart, let's do it down this line right here, okay? Like it's a bad piece. That'll give us a better feel of the steps. Then it's going to raise the cylinder back up. Then it's going to turn the stepper motor to what? Y'all can't read, 90 degrees. So now 90 degrees, 90 plus 90 is what? 180. So no matter which route you end up with it being at what? 180. So this guy's going to spin it 135. So 135 plus 45 is 180. Okay, so it's going to extend that. So this is all it's looking at, right? So once it gets to 180, it's going to trigger B5. So it does look for something. This says B5 has to be true, and this says B5 has to be true. So what is B5? You got the diagram there, right? You got the diagram, right? What's that inductive sensor? So it's got to be true right there. Huh. Yeah, the inductive sensor is B4, right? That's B3. I guess we'll need to find that. Huh? Let's look at port. We'll look at the port. So the B5, the port should be, the B5 port is 2.6. According to wait a second, let's finish it up. So according to this, B5 has to be true. So the stepper motor going 135 degrees is going to trigger B5. So when the stepper motor gets to 100, so it's the stepping motor that's triggering B5. We'll find it. We'll find it. So it's in there somewhere, right? And then if that's true, then it's going to do what? Extend the cylinder, and then it's going to trigger 4B2, and then what will it do? Retract. Okay, so we're looking for B5, input 2.6.